friends, welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kristen and this is Growing Zone 9B. So I have been wanting to get a peach tree. As you guys know, my neighbor has a peach tree. I was going to go ahead and propagate the peach tree, and I said no. I listened to one of the subscribers who said please don't do that, just go out and buy the peach tree. And I was like, well, okay. Like, I'll go out and buy a peach tree. So I was looking around, and at the Tractor Supply, not our actual local Tractor Supply, but I had to drive quite a ways to go to a different Tractor Supply that actually had the tree. But y'all, they had the Florida King peach tree. So let me get over here and show this to you. It's a very sad tree. It's a very sad tree, that's for sure. So here it is. It's super sad. Look at it. It's got a lot of brown. It just looks like it wants to go to Jesus, that's for sure. But at the bottom, it's definitely got some nice greenery on it. And I have to show y'all this just so you know. All right, so let's turn this around here. The price on it is $39.99, okay? So I looked at these trees and online, and literally to get a Florida King tree, they were super expensive. Do your own research. I was like, absolutely not. I'm not paying for that. I was gonna have the Royal King ship it to the house. They wanted $70 just to ship it. Otherwise, I had to drive out to a much further location to go get it. And I said, it's worth the drive for me because I really would like this tree. So I went ahead and I made the decision to drive out there today. And what a blessing God has brought to us, because I was talking to the lady, telling her that I'm building, a food forest. Basically, I'm trying to add beautiful plants to my garden, and that this was on the list. And this is a self-pollinating tree, so I don't need another one to help it to grow. And so she tried to help me find the best one that we could find, because she said they're really dry right now. It's been really dry around here, that they're just not getting the moisture they need, and they need to be out of these small tiny pots. That we need to get them in the ground as quickly as possible, which 100% I agree. And she said, well, it's your lucky day. She said, I want to let you know that these trees are half off. Y'all, it was so awesome. These trees, literally, when it was said and done, these trees were $15, basically. Like, I got an extra little discount because I had told her that I had been to one that's closer to my house, that they didn't have any. I ended up having to drive all the way out to this other location, and she felt so bad for me for having to drive out there that she was like, oh, let me take care of you, let me hook it up. There's another like sale that we have going on our fruit trees right now, because we already are trying to move them, and that they're marked down even more. So basically it ended up being like almost like 60-something% off was what it ended up being. And so at the end of the day, I still had tax and stuff on top of it, but I was looking at basically about $16 per tree. It was like $15 and some change. So are you kidding me? If I didn't have my SUV and I would have had my fiance's truck, yeah, I probably would have bought I would have bought more. It's just I had to try to fit these in the car. So when I saw them, I got super excited. They had other trees there, which I am fairly confident that I may have not made the best choice on the other two trees. But I was excited to see that they actually, one of them had fruit. So I was like, well, maybe we just need to give it a try. So I bought a pear tree and a plum tree. So here is the pear tree, but look, y'all, it was the same cost. They were half off. It's got a pear on it. So it says that, it's cold hardy, right here it lists it for you, but let's get the name of it in case someone else is actually interested. So there is the tree itself. There's what the listing is that, is on the plant. I am hoping that since it had a fruit, that maybe this plant will fruit for us. I need to do my research and see that if this is self-pollinating. I bet that it's probably not. Knowing me, I'm probably gonna have to go back and buy another one and have it to be able to cross-pollinate with one another. So who knows? Oh, did y'all hear that noise? That was a passion fruit falling off the tree. So that is the one that I got. So I am excited about that. I'm gonna end up looking, it's got a little bit of bug damage, that's okay. This tree was, obviously it's looking pretty sad, but it's still good in a lot of ways too. So I'm gonna be definitely taking care of this beautiful plant. So that was another $15 deal, basically 16 bucks. I'm down with that. Here's the one that I questioned, like whether this was the best, if I made a good choice. I probably didn't, because I don't think that pear trees really grow well here. They might grow okay with some shade. So I'm gonna look for a good spot for this one. But I bought this one and it's a plum. So I am excited about this one too. So it says it's good for backyards. So I'm gonna have to do some more research on this specific variety. But honestly, if it doesn't do too much, I'm not really out that much money. And I know people are like, you know, make good choices, and that's true. I definitely agree with that. You know, we need to be making good choices when we are buying trees. But honestly, I probably should have bought 3 peach trees, because I knew that these trees grew really well here. And who knows, maybe I will go back tomorrow. I'll make the drive again. I told my parents about it, so I'm hoping my parents actually go and get themselves some peach trees. Because I think that they would do really well in their yard. So I am excited for my parents to go and get some of these, since they are on sale. And they do look very sad, but you know what? You just gotta love them and bring them back to life. So that's what I'm gonna end up trying to do. So I am excited, y'all. I have actually purchased a peach tree. It is a Florida King, so that is the one. It doesn't have a sticker on the actual branch of it like this one does. Like this one, you can see where it says Pear on it. So but the plum one didn't have it either, so it'll be all right. So I'm gonna try to get these planted. Like I said, the pear and the plum, I'm probably gonna try to find, I don't really have a lot of shade, but I'm gonna try to maybe find like a more shady type area for them to grow, because Florida full sun is not what people think, that's for sure. But yeah, so that's the excitement for today. I'm just super blessed that I got these plants for half off. They were on sale, so check out your stores. You know, you just never know. That was not advertised online. It just happened to be when I went there. They were like, and it's, of course, we are in the dead of summer. I can tell you for sure that there were not many people out in the garden center purchasing anything. There was like one lady buying a bush, and then someone else was like, oh, this is too much money. She was talking about some other plant, and I just was like I didn't think it was too much money for what she was buying. It was like a philodendron, and they had them for like 10 bucks, and I was like, lady, I have a philodendron that I spent quite a bit of money on. So, you know, to each their own. You know, I think that what I'm trying to say is that times are tough, and that, you know, people probably aren't making these investments into fruit trees, but to me, now is the time to do it. I know how to baby these trees for the most part, so I'm gonna bring them back to the best of my ability. I always find that fun, to bring a tree back to life, so to speak. And you know, just be keeping your eyes open. I know that people are struggling to make their mortgage payments and to pay their bills, but you know, we have to find ways to also put food on our table. And like I said, the investments that I'm making are not just for myself, they're also for my nephews and my family. So you know, I really look at this from a generational perspective. I always have, and that's really where my heart is that I want to make sure that my family is going to be able to put food on the table, especially if we go into some type of depression, which I already feel like we are definitely in a struggling economy. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I don't really think that spending $15 on a tree that could potentially, you know, produce quite a bit of fruit is gonna have issues. I do think we need to get rid of some squirrels in order for us to have this joy. But like I said, we'll see what happens. So I gotta find some places for this, and we'll get it all figured out. But I might have to go back and get me a couple more peach trees, just because I know, like my neighbor said, the peach tree that she has, she didn't get one peach off of it to actually consume, because the stupid squirrels ate it. So like I said, we definitely have a squirrel problem, and we need to resolve that as quickly as possible. Y'all hear that bird? I think it's back here in my towering. These things are so tall right now. We have to cut them back, the Mexican sunflowers. I'm not even joking you. These things have to be at least 15 to 20 feet tall. So we definitely need to trim them up, that's for sure. And I got to pick up some passion fruit. I heard one fall, and I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. Look, it fell right over there. See it? There's the passion fruit. So I have to pick up my passion fruit. That's the nice thing, is if I actually hear them fall, then I can go pick them up before the stupid squirrels get them. I was telling my fiance that's a big issue right now. We keep getting passion fruit. I mean, they all look ready, and I go to like kind of like move them around a little bit because they'll fall on their own. They'll fall on their own, and so I kind of move them around a little bit to see if they'll fall while they're in my hand. Like I'll shake the bush a little bit and see if they'll start to fall out, so that way I can get a hold of them before the squirrels actually get a hold of them. So that's what you got to do around here. Either annihilate the squirrels or the squirrels will take your food from you, and so we're not gonna have that. But anyway, that's my excitement today. Do your research, you know, definitely before you probably invest in a pear and a plum, because I'm fairly confident that we're gonna struggle to grow those here. But nonetheless, I know that that peach will grow, and I am definitely looking forward to some delicious homegrown peaches and sharing this love with my friends and family. So do your, you know, just go around, go searching, you know, wheel and deal. You don't have to pay a lot sometimes for fruit trees, especially in the middle of the summer here. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people are willing to make sales right now just because their businesses are not doing as well as they would like. So, all right, everyone, as always, love one another, be kind, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of this channel. All right, y'all, so little update. I have some additional trees back here. They look really sad. That's why they're on sale. But just a heads up is that 2 of the trees that I purchased need a cross pollinator. So they needed a partner to help them to grow, and so I had to go back out to the Tractor Supply today and purchase 2 more of the trees. Thankfully, they were actually 70% off, so I couldn't beat it. That's all that would fit in my SUV, and needless to say, there's dirt on the back of that SUV. It's definitely gonna have to be washed and vacuumed out because it's just filthy. But nonetheless, I now have my plants. I went ahead because my peach tree was looking so sad. I just went ahead and bought another one since it was 70% off. And hopefully they'll survive. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get these planted. It's actually kind of drizzling right now. Passion fruit fell, so I just wanted to update you guys that before you leave the store, if you've got room or you're purchasing a plant, make sure, and it's on sale, don't get overwhelmed and excited with the sale. Make sure that you do just a little bit of research. It was so hot outside, that was the other thing, and I didn't realize they were going to have these trees. So when I was there, I just didn't make the best choice, and I ended up having to drive back today and go ahead and make that purchase. But nonetheless, thankfully, they still had tons in stock of trees, so I am grateful for that. And we are going to go ahead and get these guys planted. So we got the extra plums, we got the extra pear, and then I bought an extra peach. So that is the update for today. All right, friends, so I said as soon as we figured out a spot for those fruit trees that I would bring you guys back and we would talk about the location. So what ended up happening is here's the garden perspective. Basically, you can see that's where the garden enclosure is. That's the sweet potato box over here, and then on the other side is one of the jumbo U-shaped beds, and then it just kind of extends down to the lake line. So on this complete opposite side over here is where I decided that I would stick these 2 plum trees. So I did 1 plum here, and then I did the other plum right here, so you can see it like right there. So it gets so hot here in Florida that I decided to put them in partial shade because I just figured that they were really struggling in the heat just by themselves at the location that they were at Tractor Supply. And so I think in the front part of the video I said Rural King because I was searching online at Rural King to see if they actually had plants, and they didn't. So the plant seems to be doing fairly well. We put some black cow with it. Just gonna try to, you know, make sure that it's watered every day until it really kind of takes root and gets established. The peach tree, however, is I stuck that peach tree up at the front on the inside of our sidewalk, basically where the sunflowers are, and I'll take you guys up there in a second. But what ended up happening with the 2 pear trees that I have, I ended up giving them to my parents, because this is why you got to pay attention to stuff. We just started kind of researching it, and those trees can get up to 40 feet tall. And even if they got 20 or 30 feet, that's a lot of space that they need to grow. My parents have a little over 5 acres, or around 5 acres. 3 acres are really more usable. The other acreage is more swamp based. And so I just figured it would be better for them to keep those. We have power lines in the front. They're just, and my fiance, he's a grass hole. That's what I call him, because he loves grass. Like, for me, having this garden stuff, he really is, he's not opposed to it, but he wants it very neat and tidy and in one space. He doesn't really want to expand it. He likes cutting the grass. It's something that he enjoys doing. So he tells me to leave the front yard basically alone. But I kind of clipped out like one little space in the front, and that's where that peach tree is at. So it actually feels pretty nice today under the tree. You can see that it is kind of a little bit breezy out here, which is actually fairly nice for us this time of year, because it is really hot. And that's what I said, like, I feel like the plums are really going to get a little bit of shade, and the plums only get at most, they're listed at like really 20 feet. So, and we needed to keep them kind of close together, and so that's what we did, so that way they can crossbreed, because they did. That was the other reason I ended up going back to Tractor Supply, because I needed 2 cross pollinators. Now the peach tree didn't need a cross pollinator because it was self-pollinating. I ended up buying another peach tree regardless, just because I just, in case the one died, it was looking really sad. So I went ahead and did that. The squirrels, we're still having a squirrel problem. They picked off this green one. There's plenty of, I'll show you guys. They've just been, we tried to eradicate the squirrels yesterday, but that didn't end up working out. But you can hear Betty. You see, they are chewing up, they're not even eating it. They're just chewing them and leaving everything. They're doing it here too. They're just starting to chew them and then just leaving them. So they're ripping off the papayas. And so this just keeps happening. So unfortunately, we just have an infestation of squirrels. I mean, they're everywhere. They're just constant. Yeah, I'm like, love animals, but this is just insane at this point. We're just losing so much. My neighbors are complaining they didn't get any of their peaches. So, all right, so this is where I ended up putting the peach tree, one of them. The other one is still in the bucket and needs to be planted. Betty, shh. And so it's right here in the front with the beautiful sunflowers and the plumeria. So that's where I ended up putting it, was over here. So that's I figured that would be a location where I'm not going to mess with it too much, and that's what my neighbor said to do, is don't mess with it, just let it be. So that's what we have going on with those plants. Shutting the gate. And then check this out. Isn't this flag cute? I love this flag. Then I have my Boston flag over there. So yeah. So we still have the one, I still have the avocados too. I gotta get the avocados planted. I gave one to my parents too. My parents have one of the avocados. I kept one of the avocados, and then we just have the peach tree. So this peach tree actually looks pretty good, and you can see, you see new growth right here. So I am hopeful. I put some extra dirt on the top until I can get it, see, there's new growth there. So I ended up putting some extra dirt on the top, gave it some nutrients while it's in this bucket until I find a location for it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get it planted. Oh, my hair, yeah. There's always airplanes. That's a helicopter going by. So that's what we have going on right now. Oh, here's my green stalk, since y'all are up here. These are peppers. They're actually doing fairly well, so I'm excited. Now these peppers are supposedly gonna have a little bit of spice. I have some flowers on it, not too spicy, hopefully. So, oh, that reminds me, I gotta take y'all around the back. I got the passion fruit. I actually need to sit down. All right, so the tomatoes are basically about to give up. So we gotta clean the tomatoes out here soon. You can see there's a lot of like dead foliage on the tomatoes. So that's my plan this weekend. I'm going to be cleaning that up, getting that all cleaned up and everything. And I kind of started, like I told y'all, I was like taking down these beds, and there's some basil right there. That's looking lovely. Look at that. Love basil. Yeah, it's just really hot. So I wanted to show you guys. So I thought this vine was dead. I'm going to show you what the vine looks like. Look at that. That's like dead. You know what I mean? So I went, you can see there's a little spot back there. I went to pull this up and rip it out. And look what I found. Oh, I'm going to set you guys over here. So yeah, so I found this. I think this is one of those sweet potato squashes. But look, it was pinched up. You can see it was pinched down there on the bed. You can see that there's a little bit of bug damage. There's like 2 holes there. I'm hoping that nothing really like actually bored into. Oh, there's another hole. It was hidden down in the corner, and it's kind of just already like kind of just taking care of itself. I just need to brush the dirt off. And you know, you kind of put them up for storage, but this one's kind of already storage. I was hoping it was one of those ayote squashes because I really wanted the boys to try the green one. But that's not what we have going on. I think this is the sweet potato, the Tennessee sweet potato. So I wanted to show you guys before I ended up cutting that and finish pulling out that vine, because that vine at this point needs to come out. It's definitely done, that's for sure. So like I said, these tomatoes, you can see there's some new green stuff going on, but not too much, you know. It is what it is right now. It's just too hot. This is the time of year that we really just slow down, because there's just things just die. They're just giving up on life because it's way too hot. Except the sweet potatoes. You can see the whole bed is, that bed is just pouring out with sweet potatoes. And then I have sweet potatoes over there in the back with some tomatoes that just want to pop up. There's tomatoes over there in the corner. So that's what we have going on right now, which I'm fine with. And there was some sweet potatoes. This video has gotten a little bit too long, and like out of like, I just wanted to show you where we were planting the trees. But and then there was like some sweet potatoes that got dropped, and they're over there starting to grow and take off. So I'm sure that we'll have some sweet potatoes that are just in the ground doing their thing, which is fine with me. So that's kind of what we have going on right now. Just really slow, just waiting on the fall to kind of set in, so that way, or you know, like the cooler temperatures for us. Because, you know, like I said, when you're in the feel like temperatures of over 100 degrees, it just makes things really, really rough for us. So anyway, so that's where the trees are. I still have to figure out where I'm going to put the avocado. I still have to figure out where I'm going to put that other peach. But at least we got the plums in, and I feel really good about that. There's Miss Luna. She's on a little leash now. So if I'm shooting a video, she has to be on a leash, because she will book it around the lake and take off, and I can't have that. So all right, everyone, so that's all I got going on for right now, but I just wanted to finish that up for you guys so you knew where we were planting. And oh yeah, we're also working on eradicating the squirrel issue. I think I just mentioned that, but yeah, that's on our things to do. So all right, everyone, until next time, as always, love one another, be kind, and I will see you guys in my next video.